Good evening and welcome to Let's Drone Out, episode 496. It is Thursday, the 27th of February. I am Andrew /Frank, and tonight you are joined by Brighton's biggest tricopter aficionado, Jack. PV Racing Solutions Master, Serb.
And Mrs. Serve.
And Mrs. Serve in the background there, hiding away. And we have got Mini Rolls Rule. Matt, good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight, because tonight we are talking about your big event, the Birmingham International Race Day 2025. You came on late last year to sort of give us a preview, and it's now happened, and hopefully all three of you are vaguely recovered from the event.
Vaguely, yeah. Vaguely.
How are you feeling?
I've still got 3 more counselling sessions booked in, but after that, I think I'll be okay.
Yeah, his voice has only just recovered from like 24 solid hours of live streaming. So
yeah, because I guess it's the Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right? So you've got 8 hours a day streaming. So yeah, 24 hours of streaming. Is that right?
We had set up from 5 p.m. on Friday with some testing and stuff going on in the evening. We got out of there about 10 or 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, something like that. And then we had the first people. Like we arrived at like 7:15 Saturday morning. Went live at like 8:30ish, 8 o'clock, something like that. And then we went all the way through to like 8 p.m., 9 p.m. And then we had the whole thing again the next day. So it was literally 2 12-hour shifts of live streaming. It's just a monumental effort that Serb goes to for that.
Wow.
Honestly.
YouTube does that thing where you can only actually do a live stream for 12 hours. And like we were starting to look at our watches and go, are we going to be all right here? That was good fun. Yeah,
it was such a good laugh. I mean, there's a lot of effort that goes in the background, but you get into the swing of it and it just absolutely flew.
The Saturday was the hardest because like Mini Rolls was saying, we were doing setup till 11 o'clock. Then you jump in the car and it's 3/4 an hour home, and then try and have something to eat because you haven't fit that in yet, and then like get to bed about 1, and then lie there looking at the ceiling going, are my OBS scenes okay? Have I set my microphone? Did I plug everything in?
Very little sleep that night.
And you fall into a fitful sleep about 4:30 a.m. and then the alarm goes off at 6 and you start. So
And it was hit the ground running, wasn't it? Like we arrived, switched on. The surprising, like we break the pilots into 3 groups, right? If people are listening who don't know Bird, we have 48 pilots from 8, I think, in the end, different countries, because one I think decided they were from a different country. And then we split them into 3 groups of 16. And the first group of 16 needed to arrive, check in, and be ready to fly. I think it was 20 past or 8:30 was their first flight. So they had to be there about an hour before that to get set up, all pits, have the track walk, check them all in, do technical inspection, stuff like that. So it's an early start for those guys, but then they have 8 batteries, 2 back-to-back batteries, 4 times to get their best qualifying. And we did that 3 times over. Oh, cheers, man.
We're calling you Daddy Matt in the chat, and I don't know whether that's a sex thing or not.
Daddy Matt? It should be Daddy Whoop. Well, the drone racing Cornwall guys call me Daddy Whoop because I'm a bit nuts on whoops. Interesting. Hey, man. Nice for tuning in.
What happens in Whoop House stays in Whoop House.
Yeah. I have got a Spezi. So this, I'll hold it up a little bit. This is the Spezi drink that is, I'll hold it back up again. This is the Spezi drink that Spezi Lover took his name from. And he was the first chap to challenge the UK to put on a drone race. So we did that back in 2020. And the Germans this time very kindly drove over in their van via Cornwall to have a race down there. And they brought a case of Spezi Lover for us. So I'm tucking into one now.
You can get it on.
Yeah. And I have discovered you can import it by the crate on Amazon. It's not bad actually. It's only 20 quid a crate, but it is 25 quid postage.
Ooh,
And I imagine every single bottle will be smashed by the time it gets here. But I might try it at some point.
So, did you guys check out the live stream?
Yeah, caught quite a bit of the live stream. It was good fun seeing all the racing going on and seeing you had a big crowd there. It looked a very kind of very busy venue.
The guys, when people finished their group, they sort of hung around and checked out the other things that were going on there. So by the end of the day, you had a big group of people cheering people on, which was really nice. So, especially on the Sunday, everyone really obviously stayed for the finals, the elite finals, which is the end of the day on Sunday. And by the end, we had pretty much, I think, every pilot that was there and all the spectators hanging on, because through that day, it just got faster and faster and faster.
Yeah,
excellent.
The finals day commentary was great. We started off okay at the start of Sunday, didn't we? It's fair, commentating the first bracket. We were quick, but then it was just gradually turning up the speed control on the commentaries as they came through. And the last race of the last final of the day, I think I was talking Swahili at some point. I was going so fast, it was crazy.
Yeah. Serves the man for commentating fast-paced racing. Jeepers, I don't know how you do it. I gave it a go with Sam for a while when he stepped off to get some lunch at one point, and I was tripping over myself. I think we were in advanced class at that point, weren't we, Sam? And I was like, these are quick. That's so far, and that's it. So when everyone buys their tickets, the tickets sold out in 12 hours, which is unbelievable. But I look through them after they're gone, and I'm like, you're going to be an elite, you're going to be an elite, you're going to be an elite, you're elite. Elite. All right, we've run out of elite spaces. Advanced is going to be properly quick, and it was so fast. There was some incredible racing in advanced class.
Yeah, I remember when you were on giving us the preview. By that point, you'd already sold out the racing tickets. That's pretty good going.
Yeah, it was nuts. To give you an idea, so in 2020, I think it was 22, Dan Carpy, UK fella, properly quick. He was the fastest in the UK in 2022. He came first in the advanced class. So there's a whole another class of elite pilots now, faster than our fastest racer in 2022. That just shows, no disrespect to Dan, he knows he's quick. Everybody loves Dan, but there's a whole nother class now faster, and that is incredible to say.
No.
So we had an incredible race, but this was the biggest one this year ever.
I think we could have sold it out twice over.
Yeah.
we need
so many people
more frequencies and more space.
That's the challenge, isn't it? But that's the right way to be, right? Is to have more people wanting to go than you can fit in, and especially when you've got all the other stuff going on alongside the racing. The racing isn't everything at that event. You've got all that other stuff that people can go along, and to have people that are that interested go along not to race but to spectate and join in and build that kind of atmosphere and do all the other things that are around the racing. I think that's a really good kind of way to build up the event.
If we had have added all, like I say, we could have sold it out twice, but if we'd have done that, we'd have spoilt it.
Yeah, there's a limit at the moment to the size the technology can cope with when you've got analog whoops flying around inside.
Yeah. At that number of pilots, it just about financially makes sense. And okay, so we could pull more ticket money in and sell a bunch more tickets, but it would be to the detriment of the event. So it's we can only do that when we're sure we can still do a good event with that many tickets sold. So
Carpy's coming for his title back. He switched to Acro Devil mode.
His problem was that he wasn't oven ready this year.
That's it. He was missing his foil packaging.
That's where it went wrong. Sorry, chat. You're not going to understand that if you weren't there 2 years ago.
You have to watch 2023.
The other benefit of having all these people that are so enthusiastic about going to the event, even if there isn't a space for them to race, is that it meant you had more volunteers, right?
Yeah, so that was the big challenge this year. I think I said in our last chat is that we wanted to get more people to volunteer, to step up, to help us make that like the best event we can. And we learned a lot from last year to bring to this year, and it meant a lot more people were needed. And luckily, like, thanks to everyone who stepped up, because oh my god, like the number of people we had, you know, putting their hand up and saying, yeah, I can definitely help do stuff. We had 20 volunteers who were involved this year, you know, doing various things, from really simple stuff, just like making sure people had cups of tea, making sure I had food, like making sure Cerb was like fed and watered, like, you know, really simple stuff, up to running, you know, on the pilot line, making sure the pilots are sat in the right chairs, all of these things. There was a whole range of things people were doing, and everyone just stepped up and got on with it, and just people really, it was just mad. It was so good. Yeah, Adam, mate, big shout out to you, Adam. When you stepped up onto the pilot line, we found like an absolute like mesh of people, like you and Ed working together with my brother as well, like all corralling the pilots onto the pilot line, made a massive difference. And that was the big thing this year, getting the right people in the right seats, making sure everyone's doing a little bit to make the event as good as it could be. And you know, we didn't grow the event in terms of pilots this year, but the team like exploded. And you know, every year Cerb and I have a chat about what we could do better. And this year it's like, well, we could polish this, and like there's a little bit there we could trim. It went pretty well as far as we're concerned, you know.
But we kind of discovered in the wash up of the previous race at Millennium Point, which was amazing. We were kind of like, I was running at about 110% that weekend, and Matt was like, yeah, about 125%. I'm like, great, that's good that we proved that we can overspeed ourselves and pull it off. But I want to add another 25 to 30% to my workload, because I want to do this, and this extra. So then I'll be running at 150. This isn't viable. So it was very much, we have to find people, and we did really find such a good team. People slotted into their seats so well. There were a lot of changes that we made with the line judges, the way the spotting was done, the way the flight line was managed, all over the event. Everything was just tweaked up 10%, and things were tightened up and changed, and that took months and months and months of planning.
There was a whole other level of organisation game to define the roles you want someone to do, think about how they're all going to fit together, and then get the right people to do it, and who you think is going to work well together. And we had students working with Cerb.
You know it's worked if on the day nobody notices.
Yeah,
that was it. It just ran smoothly. We were so lucky. We owe so much to our helpers. We really do.
Yeah, man. And there were some helpers that nobody even really saw as well. So on the day, we had a few people that had done all the work in the lead up, or were running around in the background that nobody saw. So like Paul Jaggers on social media, 90% of the social media that went out, I was able to just have weekly catch-ups with Paul and say, all right, we need these sponsors, these like shout outs, these out to local groups. And he just went off and did it. And that, believe it or not, the social media behind something like this takes a lot of time. So Paul just kind of stepped up, took on that chunk of work, like, yeah, run with that. And he did, which was awesome. So thank you, Paul. Kira as well, who is only a recent addition to Birmingham Tiny Whoopers. She came along during this summer 2024 and just kind of showed up and was like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. Oh, I do filmography as well. Oh, I've got a load of students that can man cameras and stuff. And oh, you want some graphics? And yeah, I can do that. So this graphic was Kira's, and is incredible. It's like one of the best stickers we've ever had. And so we made it into a t-shirt. So
And that's also the graphic, right? If I'm not much mistaken, it's very similar to the trophy, right? Are they're sort of inspired by each other, I guess?
Yeah. So Kira did the graphic sort of near October time, and then we got a trophy made 3D, kind of extruded out to match sort of the graphic. So it was kind of a bit parity there, which was nice. But yeah, so if you want to get a t-shirt, they are on sale. The proceeds go back into the event for next year. They will go off sale at the end of March, so there is a limited time to get one. But you can pick one up on btwclub.co.uk if you want one. Just a little plug there.
BTW as in Birmingham Tiny Whoopers Club, right?
btwclub.co.uk, yeah.
The more merch you buy, the bigger the track gets next year. So buy the merch.
Yeah, Numbskull was saying, because he was watching on the stream, that the inflatables and the flow of the track definitely added to the buzz. I mean, that was a sort of a, you've had previously, you've had Millennium Point, which just by itself is already like quite a dramatic thing. How was adapting birds to the school? How did that go? The sports hall?
I mean, every year we had a different venue and there were different sort of challenges. This is, believe it or not, the first time it's just been a square sports hall, which I'm quite proud of because it means it's always been something a bit quirky and a bit architecturally interesting. But having a square sports hall means you can do anything. Like, there's no pillar in the way. There's no like guardrail there. There's no, set of stairs in the middle of your racetrack, which is fun, but also, kind of dictates part of the route. So I did give a lot of thought to the racetrack, and the inflatables was just a random idea I had in the summer 2024, and I thought, I wonder, how this will go. And I brought it along to Weston Park, and it was really fun. We had Puff the Magic Dragon, named by Sam back there. Which has now gone on tour to Germany. So they picked him up and took him home in his van. So Puff's going around Europe now, visiting all the Tiny Whoop races. But yeah, the track, it took, everyone draws on experience from watching different races, but the flow of it was really important. From last year, we took the feedback that it was too long. There were a couple of really complicated sections in there. There was some bits that were, didn't flow very nicely, maybe, and that's fine. That's good feedback for us. So this year, I made sure there was a decent flow to it, and I took ages working out how to get the dragon, Eric the sea snake, to flow into it, but it seemed to work quite well. I've actually got a really cool photo because the what do you call them? The university students from BCU. Can I share a screen? Is that possible on this?
Yeah, there's a little present button at the bottom.
Oh, wicked. Present.
Oh, you're asking Matt to do technical now. That's going to end in tears.
Share screen.
How was the sports hall for you, sir? As you're sort of, the stream is your baby, and to now be sort of slightly daunted, I imagine, with kind of the backdrop of the sports hall instead of this, like Matt says, this beautiful architectural style.
I don't think I mentioned it at all on the stream. I'm pretty sure I kept it under wraps, but I was so cold. So cold.
And don't forget about turning the sun down as well.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because we're just sort of sitting still and it's a concrete floor. Hey, Eric the sea snake.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah, our feet were like blocks of ice on the first day. It was really, really, really cold. And because, of course, everybody coming in and out, that space gets cold very quickly at that time of year. So the next day we were okay. I had thermal socks and long johns and all sorts on them. So we were a bit better. The internet was challenging because, it's a school's internet. And it kind of started to fall apart. And we had to make a decision early doors to drop the bit rate on the stream. So we did have a few people in chat who always know better saying, turn the bit rate up. And so if I turn the bit rate up, it's just going to lag and you'll get 3 frames and wait 5 seconds and get 3 more frames. I'd rather drop the bit rate and keep it flowing, which I think was the right call. And yeah, in the Eric shot, you can see the lighting in the roof. So you see top left corner, you see that big square light that so many people in the YouTube chat are going, guys, turn those lights off. It would be so much better if you turn those lights off. And we're like, yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to gradually turn those lights down as the day goes on, because they were windows, they were skylights.
We would have
What's
loved to have
the
run
thing
it
we could do
in sort
about
of a semi-darkness, and when we did our test event, it was like 6 till 10 p.m.
Yeah, it was after work. Yeah.
After work time, so it was in winter, so it was pitch black. We actually did it once pitch black, and it looked amazing, but there just wasn't any way you could run it through the night. I mean, I'm sure the Americans would have loved the time difference, but not really for us.
But the guys in chat on the whole were absolutely awesome. We had such good spectators there, and such good spectators on YouTube as well.
Can I just say, Jesse owes me a care package.
Jesse B, yes, Jesse B.
I haven't forgotten. He owes me a care package.
Jesse, if you're watching, and you should be watching, well, he's packing boxes right now. I know he's hard at work sending out all your Whoop motors and Whoop frames and Whoop things.
But, he was meant to join us, but unfortunately, family circumstances meant he couldn't, which is a shame because we were really looking forward to having him back again. But I'm sure next year he'll be back. So. Yeah.
And he did a lot behind the scenes as well. So it would have been so good to have him with us because he'd worked so hard on it. So he missed out on being with us, but he also missed out on like the fruits of his labours. So he put in a lot of hard work behind the scenes, and he let us hijack his YouTube channel, which definitely helped us because it broadened our audience.
He spent a lot of time in chat supporting it as well.
It was good to have him there in spirit, if not in person.
How was the sort of stream audience? It sounds like it went quite wide, quite big.
Massive,
it was international.
Huge, We had, 11 people in the Czech Republic. Bear in mind, there was no one racing from the Czech Republic, right? I think it was 11 people in the Czech Republic who watched for an average of 8 hours or something. And I'm like, 11 people averaged 8 hours. I was like, what? That's mad. Like, they watched the whole thing. So, well done, Czech Republic. You've got to come to the next one. We want to see some Czech representation of the next one.
When we
you need to buy yourself a flag to hang for them.
Thank you, Numskull. I hope you enjoyed it. When we checked the figures, the YouTube stats, like a couple of weeks afterwards, we went back and looked at it, and it was, for me, it was record breaking. In terms of the number of likes that we got, the interactions that we got, the retention, the time that people stayed tuned in, that's a really important stat to my heart, how long people will stay and watch. And all of the numbers were just so good. That sounds very big-headed. It's not meant to sound big-headed. It just, that's what it was. And it was really nice to put all that work in and, see those numbers afterwards, and we've had great interactions with all of those helpers. They've not disappeared. We took them all out for dinner, and the
bird team grew a lot. The bird team grew a lot, and we want to make sure that they worked so hard for us over that weekend that we wanted to say thanks very much. So everyone, like last week, we all went out to dinner together and had a good sort of chin wag about what went well, and everyone's already thinking of new things to do next year and stuff. So
more inflatables.
The biggest one is more inflatables. As frustrated as it was for those people who did get caught under them, it's going to happen. Everyone wants more inflatables, so that's great.
So is that where the sponsor money is going to go next year? Yeah, every sponsor sponsors an inflatable.
I've got a list on eBay and AliExpress of different inflatables. I've got to decide which ones are going to work the best.
Because you pulled together quite a few sponsors this year. Do you want to give them a shout out now?
Absolutely, definitely. We had 3 different levels, and the supporter level were people that just kind of wanted to give something to the event and just say, look, we're on board, we like what you're doing, and they mostly donated parts and accessories and things. So thank you to Tiny Whip, obviously, Miss Jessie B, always a big supporter. Race Tech, they brought some real racing seats for our pilots to sit on, which were incredible. Cool.
They look very snazzy.
We had Speedy Pizza Drones and the Italian Whoop League coming all the way over from Italy. HGLRC, very generous guys, along with Diatone, also very generous. The BMFA, they were part of our support group. They brought their simulators along, so everyone could have a go on those. Squeaky Prints, Ian Squeaky Giddens, he prints basically everything in every FPV, it seems. So if you need 3D printing done and you don't have one yourself, give him a shout. T-Motor and VCI, again, donating some nice parts and prizes. Skill Supply, they run like STEM educational stuff in the Midlands, and they supplied all the goggles that we had people, just anyone who came along could just put on a set of goggles and ride along with the pros. Which was ace. And then Beta FPV, of course, because they've been supporting us since the very beginning. Since I was just a bloke with a puck and a couple of friends down a pub, and Spezzy and his mates from Germany came over. They supported us from the very first one and gave us prizes. So we need to have a big shout out to them. But that's just the supporting group. So do you want to rattle off the silver ones? You're practiced at this now.
I haven't got the list in front of me. There were four of them. That's what I can remember. There was Happy Model.
Yeah.
Test you. I can't remember. That's terrible. And I was shouting them out for like 2 days straight.
That's
no, that means that the counselling is working.
Yeah. No, I mean the silver sponsors, they put their hand in their pocket. And them, along with the gold sponsors, they put real money into the project, into the event, and it meant that we could have a nice sports hall with nearly adequate heating. Well,
this is one of the things about sponsorship, is it's that one of the challenges is getting the product is really good, and you pass the product on to the pilots, and that's great. But actually, we are getting into a realm now where cash sponsorship. Where a sponsor says, here's a certain amount of cash, put our name on a gate, or, put us here, put us there. Because we do need those kind of, I don't want to say real sponsors, because all the other sponsors that supply us with equipment are very much real sponsors. But
significant sponsors.
Yeah, cash sponsors are like absolute lifesavers. And again, going back to what we were saying earlier about it means we can keep the numbers where they are. We can look after the people that helped us. So yeah, go on, Matt, reel off the four, because I can't remember them.
We had HQ Prop, who donated thousands of props. Everybody got several packs of HQ props from them. So thank you very much, HQ Prop. You really helped us out. Happy Model donating some HD0 whoops and other prizes, but also putting their hand in their pocket for us. Thank you very much, Happy Model. GemFan, also big support from GemFan. I know they were sponsoring a couple of pilots there. Which was awesome. We had a chat with Lightsail, which was cool. So thank you very much, GemFan. And Vifly, who again has been supporting us for a number of years now with their chargers, prizes, and also cash sponsorship. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, John Quinn, Vifly. But like I say, we had a gold level sponsorship and they came in at the absolute top. They really, really did pay for a big chunk of the event and made it actually possible. And so like the most generous people in FPV are Jeff Grabowski and Nicholas Savage. Savage? I don't know how to pronounce his second name. I don't want to say it like Hyacinth Bouquet. I don't know if it's like something like that. Like, so my name's Nicholas Savage. I don't want to take the piss, but
I think you just
these
did.
These two guys, they're so generous, so like giving and supportive of what we were doing. Like, just it honestly was so it meant so much to us. Particularly Nick, who wanted to come along and thought he hadn't got a ticket, and I was like, "Well, there's a sponsorship slot available if you'd like it, and it comes with a ticket, but that's it." He was like, "Oh yeah, I'll get that." And I hadn't looked down all the list yet, and it turned out he had already got a ticket. I don't know, he must have been doing it late last night and forgot or something. I don't know. And I said, "Look, you've got a ticket. Don't worry, you've got it." He was like, "No, like I said, I'm happy to sponsor, so I'll sponsor you." And I was like, "You've already got a ticket." He was like, "No, that's fine. You guys are doing good stuff." I'm like, "Mate, thank you so much. Appreciate it." And as well, Jeff at We Bleed FPV, across the pond, you haven't been there, you don't know what we're doing, you don't know us from anybody, but you've seen what we do online, you've seen the races that we put on, and obviously, the support you gave us is incredible. So thank you so much.
And it's really nice. All of our sponsors are all people that we know and we love, and we use their kit and we stand by their kit, and it's really good to have them on board. Good relationships.
Definitely. And it meant that one of the things we built in this year, we kind of stretched the boundary of the just like a race. So it's all well and good having a race as like a showcase of what you're doing, but we stretched out to the challenger activities. So we had a whole other side of it. I don't know if on the live stream if you could really see, but the sports hall was split in two. Big net down the center, all the flying was going on one side, and we had activities for people to get involved with on the other side. And we had, I think, where's my list? We had 71 people complete the challenger activities. So that includes pilots and people that turned up and stuff on the day. So we had loads of people come and take part in the activities and basically get involved with FPV, because if they weren't there as pilots, like to fly the races, they were there to get involved in the sport generally, and hopefully they'll take it home to their kids and show what it's all about. And that's really important to us.
So when we were talking about it back in November, there was the drone soccer, there was a slalom, a simulator, and some ride-alongs. Those are the four that I remember.
Yeah, there was 5 to start with. Unfortunately, drone soccer had to drop out for competing reasons, but I'm sure they'll be back because they really didn't want to drop out. They were really keen to come along. So I'm sure they'll be along next year. But we had.
Wait to the ladies and gents.
Pardon?
I'm off. Sorry.
Oh, right. See you, Sam. Exit stage right. Yeah, we had minifigs, line of sight, tiny little drones, and basically Nick and the minifigs me guys gave us a load of Lego figures, and we put them on line of sight drones, and meant that people could build a little Lego figure, put it on a line of sight drone, and fly it around. We had a little course set up there for them to fly around, which was awesome. So we had loads of people flying these little line of sight drones in the corner. We had the FPV hot laps things, which were the goggles that Skill Supply brought to us, which meant anybody could come along, put the goggles on, and watch the pros take a lap of the course. And I honestly, if I wasn't organising it, I would have made sure I was on that stand during the elite class, and I would have been like, look at riding on board and trying not to vomit while Nightwing's doing a hot lap. Like, it would have been mad.
It was cool. But yeah, the entire other side of that sports hall, that you didn't really pick it up too much. On the track cams, you would have seen some of it, but there was as much space as the pits and the track again. And it's something we've not really seen at, well, definitely not in UK events, but other events, is stuff for the public, stuff for the spectators, stuff that the sponsors can get involved and show off what they do. And BMFA were there with their sim, so people could fly on the sim and people could ride along in the goggles like Matt was talking about and play with the Lego. And so there was something for everybody that came and watched, which was really changed the atmosphere from a fantastic atmosphere that you always get with the pilots to so much more, because you've got the spectators and they're involved. We had a big screen up in that area, and I looked across at one point and there was like five rows deep of people in seating sitting there watching the streamed output with all the audio over the top, and it was amazing, and I really loved that. I loved being part of pulling in the public that way and expanding the event that way. So it's not just, you and your mates in the sports hall racing drones. It's, it's a spectacle. It's something everybody can get stuck into. And I guarantee 2 or 3 or maybe 10, I don't know, people went home and Googled whoops and how to get into it. Definitely.
Yeah. I can't remember how many subscribers you and Jesse said you got, but it was loads just off the back of that video. So it was it was amazing to know that people have been watching it at home. People have been there, picking it up, getting the goggles on their faces, riding along and enjoying it, which was awesome. So we were glad to do that, and it meant that we're heading in the direction which I'm hoping it will grow into. I don't know how many years, but like a festival of FPV. So you have you have a day event you can bring your family along to, and your kids aren't going to get bored because they can go and play with Lego, they can play with some line of sight drones, they can ride along, they can do all sorts of things. And we had a couple of families there with little kids, and I wish I had my photo of the little kid. There was one photo I took of this kid who was sat in a hot seat. Oh damn, I haven't put it on there. And he's sitting in one of the race tech seats, and he's like, I don't know, 3 or something, and he's got his legs like stuck out off the end of it, and he's got the goggles on his head that are like flopping down, and he's having to hold them up, and he's just got this biggest grin. It's hilarious. So it was really good to do that, and that's what it is, that's right, Caroline, getting the kids flying line of sight is the first kind of essential part, just seeing what you can do controlling this thing. It was great.
That was cool.
I got a photo I can show you of the simulators. We've got a experienced, one of the pilots and a little girl flying on the simulators at BMFA. They brought those along. It's cool.
And the guys from the BMFA were Andy was taken ill like halfway through the first day. He still managed to get there, get all the kit into the van and get to the event and set it all up. Absolute trooper. And then by about halfway through the first day, he hit the wall. And he had to be. It was Chris from the BMFA had to come and rescue him the next day. But Chris drives a hatchback, so there was all this equipment, and we had to do all the logistics, and Matt had to put it in his van and stuff like that. But I mean, above and beyond from those guys to turn up and get those sims set up whilst not being 100%. It was really
they stuck to their guns. Part of the reason we didn't have 2 sets of line of sight drones, we only had the one, is because Dominic from Skill Supply was ill, and he was ill in bed, couldn't move for a week, and he was like, "No, I'm not going to make it. But you can have this kit." And he just gave me his kit to bring along. He didn't want to
send us the equipment.
He was like, "I can't run a whole thing, but you can have the kit. Bring it along. Make sure people have." Yeah, Marshall, your Infinity Tunnel was an absolute hit. People loved it. They didn't want to let us down, which was ace. So he gave us the kit to bring along, and it meant that we didn't lose a load of activities, because I wanted to make sure there was stuff for people to do there. What was I going to say? I lost my train of thought now.
Well, never mind, because we're almost 2/3 of the way through the show, and I feel like we've barely spoken about the racing, which for the Birmingham International Race Day shows how much else has been going on.
Yeah.
So we should really get into that. So what was the sort of the trend of the day? Any big battles that sort of continued throughout the day? What was the story of the weekend? So,
the story of the weekend is nobody is slow anymore.
Yeah,
it's absolutely amazing how quick these guys are flying, and the amount of, for me personally, who can barely fly a whoop, the amount of guys in angle mode, actually properly inverting through the dive gate and smashing the tight circles around Puff the Magic Dragon. The quality of the flying was so good, and the camaraderie and the approach was exceptional. That they were taking it 100% seriously. But we had two issues over the whole weekend that came to the VAR judges and said, "I think this," and we looked at it, and there was one particular one where the pilots going through the finish gate was separated by 1 frame of video.
Yeah, Marshall McFly and from Germany. It was an incredible bit of thing. And it was an important call as well that Cerb was making, because it came down to 1 frame, but one of them would be pushed down into the redemption bracket, and the other would carry on in the winners bracket.
Thank heavens for the VAR and the VAR team. The hardware and the people running it absolutely did such a good job, because we were able to literally go frame by frame through full screen feeds of each pilot's onboard and the side-by-sides, and a throng gathered around the judges, and I'm like, go away, I will make the call, my guys will tell me. and they'll give me their opinion. I'll look at it. I'll make the final decision, not you lot. And I made the final call and stand by it, absolutely. And do you know what? All of the guys involved, all the pilots involved went, okay, Serbs, that's the decision. And off they went.
It was
so Martian is in the chat at the moment, and he's not so keen on VAR anymore. Just,
yeah, it was a good demonstration of like when whoops are traveling this. Like whoops used to be like 90% of everyone was in angle mode. Like saying now there's 3, I think, pilots of the whole of birds that were in angle mode. Everyone else was in acro, and the speed they're going, you need VAR. And to be able to go through frame by frame and literally see, it was quite incredible. What Martian goes through the timing gate first, so the timing picks him up, and then Quark sees him ahead of him and just tips it over to 90 degrees and full sends it, and literally passes him just as he goes into the crash gate. It was incredible.
Wow. And the tricky thing was that meant his video was of the floor.
Yeah,
so you're having to try and see where he passed the bottom bar of the gate as he went through.
You just see like Martian's like whoop ducks go past him in one frame, and then you see him in the crash gate, and Martian's still got the edge of the crash gate there, and you're like, well, that's that. Like, it was cool.
Robbed.
That was probably one of the most dramatic of like the what was that in advanced class? I think it was. That was probably the most dramatic in advanced class. Like the finals was great as well, but in the finals of advanced class was great as well. But that one really stuck with me. And I went and had a chat with them afterwards, and the university video team came and videoed a little interview we had with them, and it was so good because they both obviously really wanted it, but they were like joking and laughing around. Like Serb said, camaraderie at the event was incredible. Yeah. People were helping each other out. They were racing hard, but it was all really good sportsmanship.
Yeah, the sportsmanship was so nice.
Zeros here, everyone. Everyone behave. And Curry Kitten's here. I tell you what, man, you are bringing out some names tonight. I tell you that. Like you've even had like, who else have you like?
We're very lucky.
I mean, Tailspin was here first.
Sam got very excited on the stream on Sunday because Bot Grinder dropped into the chat.
Yeah, we had celebrities in the chat.
And Sam was like, "Oh my god, it's Bot!"
Alexander's here as well.
Cool.
But I think the biggest kind of battle that was going on in the race, and they're good friends. They like laugh about it, but it's fun watching from like the spectators' perspective. Is that Nightwing and Re FPV had met, I don't know, a couple of months ago in Poland, where they had a race. So Nightwing was over. They had a huge race over in Poland. I think they had like 70 or 80 pilots. Massive event, like absolutely huge. And they went all the way through to the finals, and they had a battle in the finals, and Ree was pipped to the post there, and Nightwing won. And so when they were going through in the elite class finals, and they were both edging forwards, and then all of a sudden Ree got knocked down into the elimination bracket and was like, "No, come on, you can do it."
I love double elimination. I love it so much.
I have to admit that I've been reticent about it. I have pushed back, and Serb will know, and Jesse, we had discussions about it. I was all for single elimination. So I was like, no, you race your fastest, and that's it. That's your race. But honestly, I am a convert. It is a very exciting format. I have to hold my hands up and say, look, I've learned the reason why.
Jesse and I had Matt's arm up behind his back like the month before the event, like we're doing double elimination, whether you like it or not. And we were initially kind of worried. Like I've never commentated double elimination. I've watched it. I know how it works. But to commentate it was like a new challenge. And we did a bunch of graphics and overlays to try and make it explainable. And actually commentating it was really good fun. And I think, tell me out in chat if you disagree. I think we commentated it in such a way that it made sense. And you knew who was where and pretty much why they were there. And some of the battles it created when people slipped into the kind of losers side of the bracket and had to fight their way back in there were some great stories there to tell. I was placing bets that Light Sail was going to go the long way round, so drop into losers, but win overall. So then, because I'd made that bet, like we were like, he started winning. He didn't drop into the losers bracket, and I'm like, well, that's ruined my theory. And then he lost a race and dropped into the losers. And we're like, here we go. Here comes the fight back, and it was. You get to tell these great stories. It's really good fun.
It was really good. It was so fun, and because Ree had dropped down into the losers bracket and had to come back, he had, I think, to win 2 races to come back into the finals. I can't remember now, but yeah, there was like jeopardy. It was like, you either win or you're going home. And he was like, I was on the final podium in Poland. I want to be here at Bird as well. And he got there, and they went up against each other, and it was so fast. These two knew how each other flew. They were absolutely chasing each other.
It came down to the last corner.
It did.
It was the last corner of the last lap.
Yeah, because I think on the 3rd lap or something, because they did 4 laps, didn't they?
Thank you, GFPV.
The third lap, all the way to the 3rd lap, Nightwing was leading, and it was fast. They were right. Ree was right on his ass, and then he made they both made a couple of bubbles on the dive on Puff the Magic Dragon. Ree took him, led him for a whole lap, and it was like, holy crap, he's going to get him. He's going to get him. And then he just swung just a little bit wide on the last corner. And oh my God, Nightwing didn't need another excuse. He just whipped around and just absolutely sent it into the crash gate. It was awesome watching. And the whole hall like erupted. It was awesome. It was so good.
That's good. That is always the sort of the best. The best sign of some good FPV racing is when everyone's so invested in it that there's a cheer comes up at the end. That is definitely the sign that things are going well. So, Matt, as you've got results in front of you, do you want to give us a quick rundown of where sort of the final results ended up?
Yes, give me a moment because I'll stick it up on screen because I've got photos as well. Because that would be nice to have them up on the screen. Let's see, we've got.
So Tailspin says he flew angle mode with extreme limits, 89 degrees. He could do spiral dives.
I honestly didn't know you could fly a whoop in acro mode. I was so blown away by the guys flying in acro.
I'm an acro maximalist. I'm an angle maximalist. I still fly in angle mode. So does Mike and Tom Mundy. And I think, and Dan Carpy let us. He's gone now. He's gone over to the acro side. But
thank you, Bagzilla.
Oh, thanks, man. That's good. Well, this is the hobbyist class. A couple had to go home because they had unfortunately had obligations to meet. But in hobbyist class, first place was Archie FPV, standing up there taking home the trophy. Second place was James TX. Third place was RC Maniac, and fourth was Inferno, who for some reason isn't in the photo, but he was there. That was our hobbyist class.
Some fat old man in third place. I don't know what that is.
Are they stonewashed jeans, or was that ice forming on your jeans?
That was actually the ice that had formed on my legs.
There's the. I've gone the wrong way. Okay,
It's
well that's what they were
nice
fighting
trophy.
for. That's
the
what they were
trophy.
fighting for. The trophy. Yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't have to print that trophy.
It was a monster to print.
My hat is off to the person that printed that one.
That was Kai.
It was Kai, wasn't it?
Yeah. He's got
white, purple, and blue and black. All
it was like a 14-hour print or something.
Oh,
it was mad.
And the support material came off so cleanly. It was so good. Well done, Kai.
What did it?
But yeah, so
what
moving on
machine?
to the advanced class winners.
Bamboo.
As I said earlier, advanced class. I was thinking like all of these guys are worthy of being in a league because they were so quick. But we had in first place was Dan Carpy. In second place from Poland, Eldorondo. Third is Rich, and fourth is Dirty McStinky. So well done, advanced pilots. And then I think I hop back one more. There we go. There's our elite, Bird 2025 elite pilots in their glory. First place, Nightwing, won on the last corner. Incredible flying all weekend, to be fair. Second place, Ree. He's going to have to chase him down at another event and see if he can beat him. But Ree got second place from Latvia. His fellow American Daylight in third place. And in fourth place, holding the torch for the Brits, was FPV Gilbert, who likes to hide inside a chicken's head for some reason. I'm not sure where that joke comes from. I'm sure it means something to somebody. I clearly missed something.
Who knows? But it's good.
But it's good, yeah. So well done, guys.
And as Marsham was just saying in chat, having all the features and the fun and the madness makes it really good fun. That's what Tiny Whooping is about. It's what all racing should be about. Serious but fun. But Bird and the other Tiny Whoop events, there's something about them that just the sportsmanship, the camaraderie, the good fun, the just silliness. It's so nice to see, and long may that continue. Yeah,
the silliness helps. Like way back, I very I don't know what the word is, but I made people dress up if they wanted an extra second off their laps, because I was like, let's have some fun with this. Let's enforce some fun. And this year there was no bonus for dressing up.
They still did it,
but they still did it anyway. People came along dressed up. We had Jesus there. We had Pokemon there. We had all sorts coming along. So we had.
It's very strange when Jesus comes to the VAR desk to raise a question.
Yeah, it was wicked. Everyone got on board, which was awesome. So we want to keep that kind of spirit of fun alive, and that's part of having the extra activities. Making sure that people are racing fairly and safely, but also having fun and looking after each other. And I think we got the balance exactly right, which
we're lucky we've got very robust systems. And the timing and all that stuff we've developed that forwards another step this year as well. And so everything was spot on, but even then you're going to get those one frame video calls and did that pilot miss that gate, and how do you determine it, and everybody was just they took the decisions and said, right, that's good, and went off and flew the next round. They took it absolutely 100% seriously, but nobody got stressed out and upset or weird about anything. It was so good. It was so nice.
Perfect. That is what you need.
Yeah. Matt, vlogs.
Yes, but there are a few more things about the event that we need to do. One of them is a prize draw for the Bird Challenge activities that were done, because there were, I think, 10 activities in total, including ones you could do on your phone, because we had our very own light sail create a whole web app for the event. Another one of the volunteers had kind of stepped up and said, I'll help out. I want to make this an amazing event. Built us a whole web app for the activities. So you could log your activities that you completed and get little achievements as you went around. And like I say, we had a load of people complete those. So we have a prize draw where they can win a Beta FPV Cetus FPV kit, like a whole kit ready to fly, a VCI hat, HGLRC t-shirt, the Bird limited edition sticker, of which there is only 100. So if you get one of those, that's good. Props from HQ Prop and GemFan, battery straps from WeBleed, HGLRC and VCI, and stickers from most of every one of our sponsors. So there's a whole load of prizes up for grabs. So I guess I should probably share my screen again. I keep doing that. Sorry, guys. Technology will get me one day. I'm not sure if that's going to be very fun to look at the moment. There you go. I'll do that. Right, random name picker. Are you ready, guys? This is the list.
So for those that aren't seeing pictures, this is Matt listing up all of the entrants, and he's going to pick a winner using some online.
All in there. Everyone who completed it.
Thing. So drum roll, please.
Drum roll, please. I'll scroll down somewhere down here. Pick a random winner. Okay, you ready? Here we go. This is for Bird Challenger activities and all those prizes. Ready? He's going to get it here. It is Max Gropper.
Hey.
Max Gropper. That is one of the German pilots. So we'll have to send a care package over to Germany. It might be a very good excuse to go to Germany and check up on Puff the Magic Dragon. Which would be cool. So well done, Max. Congratulations. I'll get that sorted with you soon. The other one to reveal is the best vlog winner. So we had 3 vlogs submitted. I need to stop sharing for a second. Is that gone? Okay, it's gone away. Good. We had 3 vlogs submitted by the RoboPilots team, by Joshua Thornbury, and by Edward Davies. And if I can bring up the right thing, I can reveal the winner.
So these are the video vlogs that all the pilots went away and put together after the event, right?
Yes, so they had a spec of up to 5 minutes long of basically their experience at Birds 2025 to show us what they got up to, how they got there, what their racing was like, how they enjoyed the time, and basically to share the event with as many people as possible, but in their own video, how they want to do it. And we had some amazing submissions, and the votes were in. And the winner is, I share my screen. The winner is, drumroll, RoboPilots. They had 89 votes out. If I do my maths properly, 89, 109, 117 votes. They got 89 votes, which is incredible. So 3/4 of the votes went to RoboPilots. Well done, guys. You have secured yourself the prizes: a Happy Model, Mobula 6 Eco HD0, a Bifly Whoopstore V3 charger, Beta FPV Super Nano ELRS transmitter module, a HGLRC GPS M100, an HGLRC LED controller and LEDs, a Bird limited edition sticker, props from HQ Prop and from GemFan, battery straps from Weebleed FPV, HGLRC and VCI, and stickers from all the rest of our wonderful sponsors. So well done, RoboPilots. Again, you guys are over in Latvia. I've seen your races. They look great fun. This might be a very good excuse to go over there. I'll have to see what Mrs. says.
I'm officially wearing my RoboPilots goggles to celebrate.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I've put the link to the winning entry in the chat. And so anyone that's currently watching, go watch that after this finishes. Go check it out.
It's really good. It's in Latvian parts of it, so it's a bit tricky to understand, but you will definitely get the vibe of what was going on. They had so much fun. And they were one of our only teams that came over in full regalia. They had their full team
properly serious
t-shirts and stuff, which was
they've got the kit. They take proper headshots. They've like all of their pilot logos are all branded up. It's like, yep, spot on. These guys are doing it right.
Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, so those were the announcements to make. So thank you for letting us hijack your podcast.
No, great to have you on.
It's
Great that such a broad, an energetic event is going on, and we're very happy to have you on and spread that word.
Thank you so much, guys. Yeah,
it's great. So hopefully this all sounds like it's on the cards for a 2026 bird, right?
No, never again. No.
Snell worked so hard, like he was so like burnt out by the end of it. He's like say going to counselling. But there will definitely be a bird 2026. Definitely, we had so much fun doing it.
Yeah,
like
100%.
The jokes we make, we had so much fun doing it. So
yeah. We will be back bigger and better every year.
Excellent. Where can people follow to get the first word that there might be some tickets available so they can get them before they sell out?
The first place to look will be the BTW Facebook page, followed very swiftly by the Killer Quads Facebook page. Those will be the best places to look. We're developing out the btwclub.co.uk website. That will get bigger and stronger and have more updates and links and things, and will eventually be the first place to find stuff. But in the meantime, join the Facebook groups. You'll see photos up there, videos that people have put together. There's so much going on. So come and join the gang of whoopers. Even though we're going into like the new year and stuff's going to get warm and people are going to want to fly outside, we're gonna whoop through the summer, and we will see you. Yeah, he's got his 5 inches parked on the wall over there, ready to go. But we will be whooping through the summer, up and down the country. There are clubs doing stuff all over the place. So if you want to come and join us, please do feel like you're welcome. We would love to see you.
It's worth mentioning super fast, if we've got a moment, that the Whoop scene across the UK is now having a UK league. So there are now events where you can score points, and there are clubs popping up. There's a new club every week, and there are events, and they're going to run through the summer as well. The Whoop scene is really exploding in the UK, and big thanks to Matt for the part he plays in that in the background. He works very hard, liaising with everybody and helping everybody get their clubs started and together. And the Whoop racing is going to be amazing this year. It's just starting.
Yeah, the level we saw from the international community has meant the UK wants to up its game, and they're doing it big time. There's some serious competitions coming. We got, I think it's 23rd of March. There's one down in London. There's definitely one planned for Bucky FPV. There's, I believe, one. What was the other one? I can't remember. But they're all on IFPV, so have a look there.
Yeah,
Norfolk guys did a great event. Yeah, they did it at an air museum. You're right. That was mad. That was so cool.
Really exciting. That was a great venue to have a Whoop race.
Yeah,
great
and
fun.
They will be back there in November.
That's it.
Ooh.
That was what I was thinking of. Yeah.
Yeah, and FPV Racing Solutions will be there streaming and helping them race direct.
Nudge, nudge. Wink, wink.
Well, that sounds very good. I look forward to seeing more of that.
Okay.
Yeah. So great. Thank you both for coming on tonight and sharing the atmosphere and excitement of your event with us. Look forward to seeing this carry on for years to come. So thank you, everyone. You have been watching Let's Drone Out. You have been joined this week by Matt from Birmingham Tiny Whoopers.
Thanks very much, guys. Looking forward to seeing you next year.
Serb of FPV Racing Solutions, with Sam no longer in the background, and the Yeti in Brighton, Jack.
Yeah. I'm on the Thursday night show playing some music. If you guys want to tune in, I think I'm on midnight till 1. So if you want to come over, it's the ThursdayNightShow.com. Thanks for coming on, guys. Thank you for everything you're doing for the hobby. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having us on, guys.
Thanks very much for having us, guys. It's been great fun.
I've been Andrew/Frank. Thank you to all our patrons for keeping us going. And yes, see you next week when we will have Drone is Life taking over. So
yeah,
see you
it's a bit
then.
weird.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.